is a little bit special, is more special than normal because some of you people ask questions, and I am very very happy to hear those questions. Primarily because the problem with me is that I have kind of been through too many things that it makes it quite difficult for me to relate anymore, because what interests me, um, the kind of stuff that interests me is no longer the kind of stuff that used to interest me. So some people who are like many of you who are beginners to health, fitness, personal well-being, um, I'm not sure what is it exactly that you guys are asking. So when you guys actually ask me a question, I know, okay, cool. So they want to know this particular things. So basically, in short, my brain is holding too many information. I do not know what to impart. So when you guys ask questions, then I become very happy. So I know what to impart. So yesterday in my Facebook Live, I shared about what is the root cause of obesity, right? I shared about why obesity is not the problem, and how when you think of obesity as the problem, you would just go all out to solve the problem. And when the problem is so-called quote unquote solved, then all attempts stop there, which then leads to rebound. So some of you, like a number of you asked me this question, actually, how do we be healthy instead of do healthy? Because we know that our body is a consequence. It's not an action. It's a consequence, which means it's a result. It's a result of what? It's a result of all of our actions. So it's not about having a nice body. It's about doing the things that will get you a nice body. But if you're just focused on doing health, are you going to see results? You are going to see results. You're going to see a lot of results. But if you aren't internally here healthy, after you see the results, you are going to revert back how you used to be. Yes, Genevieve, I am very, very happy that you asked a question. So it's completely my pleasure. Today, I'm going to be sharing something which is perhaps a little bit more deep. I am not entirely sure exactly how deep. But someone very wise once told me it is much better to tell too little information than tell too much information. So if, as you listen to me, if let's say things are like still like that, now please feel free to ask me more questions directly on the chat so that I can actually answer them. Okay. So being healthy, how do you be healthy instead of do healthy? So when I talk about being healthy, I am talking about a certain kind of beingness, right? Remember, you're a human being, not human doing. Beingness. What is beingness? Yesterday, we talked about how instead of wanting to have love, you want to be loving. Instead of wanting to have money, you be abundant. So it's an attitude. It's a mindset. Now, what I just said is oversimplified. So I'm going to share with you like my framework of something I call the 7 transformation. This whole idea about being healthy instead of doing healthy is a great question. And it is a question which I have worked very, very, very hard to find the answer to. And after 14 years of being in this field and consuming so much information, I finally figured it out. Is it complete? I'm not entirely sure, but it is some of the most complete stuff I have ever encountered. So this is inspired by quite a number of things. It is an integrated framework of all of the things that I've ever learned. So I'm just going to expand this a little bit. The full framework goes like this. This is the full framework. But I don't want you guys to look at this. I don't want you guys to look at this yet. I just want to focus on just this for now, okay? I just want to focus on just this. So I'm just going to spotlight this. Okay, cool. I just want you guys to focus on just this for now. Now, when it comes to, I will just tell you this one thing. And I want you to listen carefully, and I want you to remember this. There is a root cause of all of our problems in life. There is. And there is a root solution to all of our problems in life. There is. I'm just going to make you a promise that by the end of this Facebook Live, you will know what is it. You may not know exactly everything, but you will know what is it. Okay. So this whole framework is created from many things that I have learned. And what you have seen over here is basically 7 different levels of transformation. There is the outcome transformation right at the top, the outcome transformation, which means what kind of results that you're getting. And you have the behavior meaning what are the things that you do? Is your behavior transforming? Now, the reason why there is a distinction between outcome and behavior is very simple, because you cannot directly control an outcome. Most people, when they decide on a goal of, let's say, weight loss, they do it directly from outcome. They talk about it in terms of SMART goal setting. Am I right? Sustainable, measurable, attainable, blah blah blah, whatever it is. But the problem is that if you set a outcome goal of, let's say, I want to lose 10 kilo in 10 weeks, you can do everything that you can, but there are uncontrollable factors that will affect your how much percentage of your goal do you actually reach. So outcome is not something that we can 100% control. We can only indirectly control it through our behavior. One more example. Saying I want to lose 10 kilo is not something up to me, but is it up to me to run 3 times a week? Type it down in the comment. Is it up to me to make a goal that I say I want to make 3 times a week? And I would think that the answer is yes. I can fully control what kind of activity that I produce. So a transformation of the outcome and a transformation of a behavior is a completely separate thing. If I truly want to transform my outcome, what I really need to transform is my behavior. And I need to transform it in such a way that I can sustain the behavior for the rest of my life. Now, here comes the problem. The problem is that so many of us have this little thing called preference. There are things that we like, and then there are things that we don't like. Right? There are things that we like, and then there are things that we don't like. So that is what inspired so many people to say, okay, I'm going to try to find a fitness program which I can enjoy, which will also work. Actually, I will find something that I can enjoy, full stop. Very, very rarely do people ask the other side of the question, which is, which also work. So when it comes to that, it's like so many times I meet people just assume, right? So many people just assume that any physical activity will see results. That is a fallacy, because we all know that it's not even physical fitness, it's not even physical activity that gets you to weight loss. It helps, but what gets you to weight loss the most is actually nutrition. But people don't prefer to do anything about the nutrition. They want to just do what they like to do. Does that make sense? If I'm making sense, please say yes or something so that I can know I'm making sense. Otherwise, it's hard for me to continue. Okay. So basically, because people are so attached to what they like and don't like, it's kind of like saying what I just described to you is kind of like saying, I don't like the fact that 2 + 2 = 4. I want to have 3 + 2 = 4. That is what people are saying. So it's like, okay, Zumba. Scientifically, Zumba is not going to build muscle. But somehow, some people want to come up with something called Zumba Strong. So they add in a little bit of push-ups, they add in a bit of things that appears to be strength-based, but it doesn't really work that way. because when you want to build muscle, it requires a lot of quite a number of customization. There can never be a one size fit all approach that will get you that kind of results. But people are attached, which is the reason why the next level of transformation is the state. The state. So what do I mean by state? State is your emotional states. That is what I mean by it. So NLP have a different version of these 7 levels. The NLP's version is called Dilts Logical Levels. After studying Dilts Logical Levels, I feel that it is not really quite complete yet, or rather, without being judgmental, I would like to see more. I haven't seen something. I don't see how it connects as complete as this. But having said that, I'm probably going away. I'm gonna come back down to this. The state is your emotional states. Because if you're upset, there is a set number of behaviors that you would be doing by default. Not as a human, but as you, as an individual you. Think about it. Are your behaviors predictable when you're upset? Are your behaviors predictable when you're happy? Right? Answer tell me, what do you think? So for a lot of people who are not conscious, who are not aware of themselves, who are not mindful of their behavior, whenever a celebration happens, there is a set number of things that they would do. Right? Party, drinking, or something. When they're upset, depending on who they are, depending on their identity, there is a set number of things that they would be doing. Maybe they would take it out on somebody. Maybe they would binge eat. Maybe they would binge watch Netflix. There is a certain number of preset behaviors according to the individual. And every individual will gonna have different number of preset behaviors, but it is still a preset behavior. Am I making sense? If I'm making sense, say yes. So what I'm saying is, if you can't control the outcome, you can just control your behavior, but your behavior depends on your state. So if your state is constantly out of control, your behavior is also constantly out of control. So what is more important than transforming the behavior is transforming the state. Now, here's the thing. There are so many tactics that we have to transform someone's state like that. NLP has a lot of it. In fact, I think NLP specializes in this. Transform state, change states, right? Tony Robbins specializes in this. That's why people pay so much money. That's why people pay so much money to go to UPW and whatnot, and all those motivational seminars. Why? From feeling, I don't feel motivated. I feel tired, lethargic. I just need to pay 1,000 ringgit or 2,000 ringgit and go to this motivational seminar. I feel so charged up for the next few months, right? But what controls the state is your identity right here. Your identity. So put it this way. Think about, I want you to come up in your mind right now. Okay? Recall in your mind a person who is a certain pattern lah. Okay, certain pattern. What kind of pattern? Well, let's just say upset person, anger management person. Do you have that person in your mind? Think of that person. Is that your relative, your family member? Is that your friend? Is that your boss? Is that a customer? Okay. So very predictably, you notice that the moment they are a certain kind of people, their states don't fluctuate more than a certain range. If that makes sense? Does that make sense? It doesn't fluctuate more than a certain range. If somebody is an angry person, if they're an angry person, then they're gonna fluctuate. Like there will be like a few moments where they are peaceful, but most of the time they are very easily triggerable. Now think of another kind of person in your life who is constantly like a sage. All right, let's not go there yet. Let's talk about victim person. Victim. Yeah. Think in your mind, someone who is constantly helpless. He's like, yeah, but you don't understand, this person treat me like that, my boss like this, my wife like that, and then my family member, and then my mom this way and that way, and blah 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 blah. So like this person just loves to complain. Do you have that person? Do you know anyone who's like that? You will notice that their state does not vary very much, does not change very much outside of the confines. There is a certain predictable pattern. You know their pattern. That's their state. Now think about someone who is at peace all the time, right? So I do not know who that person is to you, but think of someone who is just, very zen. Like no matter what happens, they're just chill. Do you have someone like that? Do you know who's like that? So someone who is like that, their pattern is not easy to trigger them. It's like a complete opposite of the other person, right? It's not so easy to trigger them now. In fact, it's quite hard. Sometimes you may be trying to trigger them and they go like, oh, they just like that. So why do these things happen? It happens because of what NLP would say belief systems. Or in other words, our BS. BS stands for belief system. Our BS. So, if I believe that, money is the root cause of all evil, then there will be certain things, right? If I believe that, how do I say? Oh, generalization. All men are bad. All men are hums up. Right? Oh, politicians are all dirty. Lawyers are all liars. So these are all belief systems, right? And it has also got to do with who we identify ourselves with. Who do we think we are? And this is not something which is so easily discoverable. Okay? This is not something which is so easily discoverable. So as an example, if I attach my identity with, let's say, money, my level of income, the moment my income takes a significant drop, what's going to happen? Do you think my state is going to change? Or do you think my state is going to maintain the same? Right? Let me know. If I identify myself with my ability to make money, the moment my income gets interrupted, how would my state be? Would I be calm? Or would I be panicking? If I identify myself with someone who is good looking, if somebody challenges my good looks, do you think I would flip? Or do you think I would remain calm? That is the state of beingness. This is a state of beingness. What is your beingness? If I were to ask you, who are you? Come up with a list. Write down everything that you think you are. Would I am a healthy person? Would that be something that you write down? Would I live a healthy lifestyle? Is that something you write down? So this is not so easily discovered. This is something that you are, that you already are. Does that make sense? Or are you guys processing? This is very important to understand. Who do you think you are? Is a very Very important question. So, if I inherently believe that I am a healthy person, then the state of me will reflect. I would be upset when I don't get to do healthy activities. I would be upset if I don't get to eat healthy food. And whenever I eat healthy food and whenever I work out, I would feel good. That would be my state. So if that's the case, do you guys think that my behavior will reflect my belief systems? Say something, otherwise I don't know if I lost you guys or... Okay. So that is your identity. Now, the question is, how do we change our identity? In order for you to change your identity, you got to go into your worldview. Because in essence, your identity is an outcome. It's also an outcome of something else. Your identity is also an outcome of something else. It is an outcome of your worldview. Worldview is, and it's not something that you just say, worldview is very rarely detectable. Even when you try to look for it, you may not realize what is the worldview that you have. Because when people ask you, what is money for? What is money for? If you are conscious at the time, you may be answering a more conscious, enlightened answer. But when nobody is watching, when you are not accountable, what kind of answer you give to that defines your identity. What is your worldview of yourself? What is the worldview of money? What is your worldview of family? What is the worldview of God? What is your worldview of who or why you are here? So in Dilt's logical level, they called it the purpose. Because why you think you are is a lot more powerful than who you think you are. Or rather, who you believe you are. So if you believe that you are a human being put on this earth to spread God's message, and that is the purpose of your life, then your identity is going to be attached to that. The moment your identity is challenged, so being God, okay, so maybe Islam or maybe Christian, the moment that identity is challenged, you are going to get triggered. Your purpose. If you believe that your purpose here on this planet Earth of coming into existence is to reduce your cycle of karma, then your identity will be that person of who's trying to be kind, maybe, right? Then you would do a lot of good things to transcend your karma. If you believe that your purpose here is to learn, you're going to do everything you can to learn. All your actions, all your beliefs are going to be just there to support this thing. So your worldview is extremely fundamental. Why do you believe you are? I use those words deliberately. Let me repeat that again. Why do you believe you are? Your answer to this question, and I'm not talking about a head answer, I'm talking about a heart answer, the kind of answer which you accidentally spit out. Okay? Your heart answer will determine why you are the way you are. Why you are will determine why you are the way you are. So Why do people who are obese can't control the food? Because their worldview, right, at least part of it, some, if not at least part of it, has got to do with I am put on this earth to enjoy, to indulge. So what is food? Food is for me to indulge. Food is for me to enjoy. And if food is for me to enjoy, and my tongue is God give me my tongue so that I can enjoy food, what kind of nutrition diet will work? What kind of personal trainer would work? What kind of 12-week transformation challenge would work? Nothing is going to work. Absolutely nothing is going to work. Now, here's the kicker. Your worldview is why you are the way you are, which forms your identity, which forms your states, which forms your behavior, which forms your outcome. Now, how do you change your worldview? Now, that is the question. How do you change your worldview? The answer is very simple. Change your consciousness. This one word here is very weird. Very, very weird. Because when you are of a different stage of consciousness, your worldview will automatically change. So now I need to bring out the whole chart for you. Okay, look at this, yeah? This whole thing here are the levels of consciousness, integrated from 1, 2, 3, at least 3 different kinds of framework. So going through this whole thing, everything is gonna like at least 2 hours. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go through a few of them. Okay, just maybe 1 or 2. So for someone who is in the stage of consciousness of apathy, let's say, they're gonna be one of those people who are like, "No, ho chama, pity me." No, you don't understand. I tried everything already, and it just doesn't work. Okay. Someone who is in blue or desire, they would be the stage of blue under spiral dynamics. These are the people who are religious, dogmatic. They are the people who sees they have a place. Everyone there's people above them, there's people below them. I need to make sure I maintain my place and do as I'm told. People who are in yellow, or rather orange. Let's talk about orange. These are the people who are more easily triggerable. They're constantly hyperactive to look for things, to look for their own personal self-improvement. So, and on is like in different levels, different levels will have different kind of worldview. And if you notice, if you can follow, people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are normally in the yellow zone. People who are what you would call happy intellectuals, not the miserable intellectuals. Miserable intellectuals are usually in orange or green. The happy intellectuals, the ones that sees things. Richard Branson, right? I would say is along the lines of reason and perhaps going into turquoise. Obama, right? Reason, yellow, going into turquoise. Donald Trump, very much in orange and perhaps even green. So many things can be explained over here. Now, here's the thing. Across all the areas of your life, there's all these levels of consciousness as well. Some people may be very conscious in terms of their body, but extremely unconscious in terms of their time. Some people are very conscious in terms of their societal advancement, positions maybe, but they are very not conscious in terms of their body. So consciousness, this word right here, will change your worldview, change your identity. Now, so far, the most advanced people in the world are dealing with consciousness. Surprisingly, however, I look for sentience, and for me, I believe that there's something even fundamental than that. Now, this one is no one but me who say, okay? Nobody but me. Sentience is what we need to work on. Because you see, look, there are so many different kinds of outcome. There are so many different kinds of behavior you can do across all of these things, all of the areas of your life. If we are attached to fixing everything one at a never-ending process, which is why so many people talk about law of attraction, people talk about meditation, going into the flow, attracting abundance. So for those of us who are not yet there, when we looked at them talking about those things, we feel like, you crazy, these people, so woo-woo. We don't understand, but it works. Because when the consciousness changes, the worldview changes, the identity changes, the state, behavior, outcome all change. Now, what could change the consciousness? The seed of what makes meditation work is a play on sentience. And when I say sentience, I'm talking about the fundamental skills that separates humans from animals. Let me explain. You see over here, body, mind, and intellect. Okay, body, mind, and intellect. So if you have a body without a mind, what are you? You're a plant. The moment you can think, if you can think even just a little bit, even for just 10 seconds or maybe 3 seconds, that, my friends, is the difference between plants and insects, plants and animals. So in the psychologists would call it the subconscious mind or the lizard brain. That is your mind. It is the seat of all of your programming, all of your emotions, all of your long-term memories. But humans are the only ones with intellect. Intellect is your capacity, your faculty for reason, your faculty for learning, for thinking. But sentience is a very, very different thing. I'm talking about things like skill of memory, the skill of awareness, the skill of acceptance, the skill of responsibility. These are the more higher level skills. Now, nobody has done any work on this. I tried to find, I couldn't find any of it. But fundamentally, a large part of my own personal growth happens because I work on this level. Some people are actually doing this as well. Like recently, I joined a course and he do something called the PQ reps, where you can just close your eyes and you try to listen for a sound which is as far away from you as possible, and you listen to a sound which is as close to you as possible. And then he asks you to rub your hands like that, rub your fingers together and try to feel the ridges. Being aware of small little things like this, right? Being aware of this, being aware of having a memory. How far back can I think? Can I remember? And having the ability to imagine what are the possible permutations of the future. But at the same time, the more you are able to do this, the more aware you become. But at the same time, the more the skill of acceptance needs to be there. Because if you are aware of something but you cannot accept it, it's going to ruin you. So that is also a skill of sentience. And the more we evolve, the higher our skills of sentience become. So this is a long drawn out answer. How do you change the B? Well, work on a worldview. How do you change worldview? Work on a consciousness. How do you change consciousness? Work on your sentience. So that is my explanation for today. I hope this has been helpful. If it is helpful, say something. And what I would like you guys to do to do next is ask me another question. Ask me, please, because I want to share, I want to teach, but I do not know what to teach. I have too many things to teach. So the best way for me to do that is to have you guys ask me directly, what is it that you guys want to learn? And then I'll make sure I cover it in the next round. All right. So that is the session for today. I will come back tomorrow morning, 6:45 a.m. Hope I wake up on time this time. Until then, have a great dinner. Please stay safe, stay healthy, stay true. I shall see you soon.